The future belongs to service providers who innovate without limits. That's why the fastest growing service providers are choosing the NetSapiens platform. Visit netsapiens.com.
Hey everybody, it's Doug Green and I'm the publisher of Technology Reseller News, and I'm very pleased to have with me today Tal Dagan, CPO of Atera. Tal, thank you for joining me today.
Thanks, Doug, for having me, and hello to everyone out there.
Well, we're going to be talking about AI, but not only that, we're going to be talking about guaranteeing AI outcomes, how Atera's Robin goes beyond hype. So that's going to be really interesting. So first of all, tell me a little bit about Atera.
So Atera had its roots in PSA and RMM. We were the first company that introduced an all-in-one solution that combined both and a per technician license. However, we've come a long way since then. And in the last 3.5 years, we've been working on our AI product, Robin. And what Robin does is it solves tickets end-to-end, technical tickets, using our RMM capabilities and our ticketing capabilities, so that you'll have an all-in-one platform that can solve a ticket end-to-end. Example, if someone has an issue with their computer running slow, they'll open a ticket saying, my computer runs slow. What Robin will do, it will use the RMM platform to run diagnostics. It will monitor the device, see that there's an issue with the cache or with one of the Chrome tabs that's hogging all the memory, and it will close that tab or clear the cache depending on the situation, and it will resolve the issue completely. Make sure with the employee that everything runs smoothly, and you're done. End-to-end autonomous resolution.
And I understand you're actually saying it's the world's first performance guarantee for an autonomous IT agent. Is that right?
So I would say that this is the first solution that actually solves technical tickets end-to-end. The first and the only one is, as far as I know. There are other AI platforms that give you IT answers, so they will suggest to the customer what to do, and they might take actions on some third-party integrations, but no one does operations on the device, while Atera can perform operations both on the device and on third-party applications through MCP integration, API integration, and so forth.
Yeah, MSPs, I don't want to say, and enterprises too, I don't want to say they've heard it all before, but they've heard a lot of things. How is this claim different? How are you different?
So I think there's a couple of things. First of all, usually when we go to customers, we do a POC first. So, before the purchase, there's a POC, and the POC runs a set of use cases that the customer would like to test. And they see for themselves that this works just fine. We're aiming for enterprise customers, and so they usually have the length of time and the people to make sure that they monitor the POC. They work with us to make sure that the use cases that they want to see are there. We also do an analysis of their tickets. We get a dump of their tickets from the last 6 months, and we can tell them what are the use cases that are repeating, and we can suggest those use cases to them, and then we can test those. So first of all, there's a POC, and you can see for yourself before you purchase. So that's one. I think the other differentiator that Atera has is that we started as an all-in-one, so we had both ends. We had both the RMM leg, where we have an agent on the device. Actually, we have agents on Linux, Mac, Windows, of course. So we know all the devices, we know how to diagnose issues, and we've seen, we have millions of devices on our network. We've seen how technicians are solving issues, and we learn from that. On the other end, we have the ticketing system. So we see the communication between the technicians and the employees, what they say, how do they solve, how long does it take them to solve the issue, and we know what are the nooks and crannies of communicating with the employees, how employees react, how they ask questions. Hint, it's not the way most people think. They're mostly cryptic. It's very hard to know what they want. So we see that too, and our knowledge can connect both of these. So this is how Robin comes into play. We take our knowledge, and Robin implements that knowledge in order to solve those tickets end to end, both the tickets and the operations and the diagnostics on the device.
Now, Tal, you guys, are you almost alone in actually having a performance guarantee model?
As far as I know, we have a performance guarantee for select customer, pending the conditions and the qualifications. But what we see today in most of our customers is that we have over 50% auto resolution. We see some customers with 70%, and I'm talking real resolution, not just giving an answer that you should go to the settings and do something, but actually doing that for you and resolving the ticket completely. So we see very, very good results in the field, and we're very confident in our product.
Let's talk about Robin. Robin is working on certain things. Humans are working on others. Explain how this works.
Okay, so the division of work really depends on what Robin is allowed to do by the customer. So there are some things that the customer feel comfortable that Robin will do, and some things that they don't feel comfortable. So I'll give you an example. Let's say that an employee complains that they're not getting emails for the marketing department that they're in. So Robin will be able to go ahead to the Active Directory to go to activate the MCP or the API of the Active Directory, see if that employee actually belongs to the marketing group, and if they're not, they can go ahead and add them to that group. Furthermore, Robin can also activate an approval flow that asking their manager if they want, or the one that's responsible for the marketing group, if they want them to add this employee to that group. And once this manager approves, Robin will go ahead and add them to that group. But some customers of ours will say, in this case, I want this to go to a technician, and the technician will have a look and see if this employee actually belongs to that group or not. So it really depends on what the customer wants. What we're seeing is that Robin is mostly limited by what the customer wants. So there's a lot of flows that Robin can perform that some customers are still they're still careful and cautious in adding those use cases, but Robin can do them perfectly fine. Another example could be purchasing hardware. So usually the flow of asking, I need a new laptop, and there's a policy in the company that after 3 years, if the laptop is 3 years or older, you can replace the laptop. And pending an approval from your manager. So Robin can definitely take that if the employee opens up the ticket, wants a new laptop. Robin can take a look and see if that laptop is over 3 years old. If it is, it will send an approval request to their manager, and if the manager approves, they can issue a purchase order in the ERP of the company, or allocate an existing device with the IT, and everything that's left is for the IT to set it up and bring it to the employee. So it can actually take a lot of the hassle and a lot of the overhead of doing a lot of things in IT today.
So Tal, what are the outcomes? When you're describing how the customers manage it, what are the outcomes?
So the outcomes would be, as I said earlier, we're looking at the resolution rate, although it's not the only metric that we need to consider. The resolution rate looks at issues that are handled end to end by Robin. No IT technician in the loop. Everything done autonomously. However, even in tickets that were not resolved by Robin, there's a lot of data and a lot of prerequisites that Robin can collect and provide to the technician before they come to resolve the ticket. So, for example, collecting information from customer, asking them questions that are relevant to the case, and collecting information from the device or from third-party system, so that when the technician comes and handles the ticket, they can see all the information and the work is much speedier. So we're also looking at the time that it takes technician to resolve tickets outside of the autonomous resolution that Robin performs. We also, just one last thing, we also look at the response time, which is a very important metric. Naturally, Robin's response time is 0.1 seconds. So if an employee opens up a ticket, then Robin responds immediately and talks to this employee. And this is a very big effect on outcome, because what happens in most IT organizations is that when a ticket is open, it takes the technician, it goes into the queue, and it takes the technician on average 7 hours, sometimes less, sometimes more, but it takes them time to respond to that ticket, first response. What happens is that this communication becomes asynchronous. And with asynchronous communication, that's a very inefficient communication, because even when the IT technician goes back to the employee is already in a meeting, or they needed to pick their kid from the kindergarten, or whatever happened in the middle. So then the technician needs to wait, and then the employee goes back to them, and then the technician does something else. So there's a lot of back and forth going on. With Robin, the communication is immediate, so the ticket can be resolved immediately. So it really frees employees very quickly to do their job without needing this context switch and back and forth with technicians.
Companies are constantly scaling up. Sometimes they scale down. Can it scale?
Of course. So Robin, as we said earlier, we started off, selling both RMM and PSA to both IT departments and MSPs. So this was something that we provided, the multi-tenancy and the option to add and remove customers or sites. That's definitely something that can be done. Activate a specific customer or a specific site, and you can deactivate a specific customer or a specific site. You can add and remove employees. So yes, definitely.
As we wrap up our podcast, I want to come back to what we were talking about at the very beginning, because I'm intrigued by this performance guarantee. Is that catching attention? Is that different than anything else?
Yeah, so we do see a lot of prospects that are looking at it, and it's definitely very appealing. But we also see a lot of customers that are looking at POC. So this the guarantee is not enough. They want to see this working in production in their environment to see that it actually does what we say it does. And whenever we're doing a POC, that's 90% is a sale, because we actually deliver on what we promise.
And that we've focused mostly on the enterprise today. That also then benefits the companies that are looking to maybe partner with you as MSPs. They can actually offer this guarantee.
That's definitely something. As I said earlier, this is something that we offer to qualified prospects. So we're not gonna go into details, but this is something that we're working on the qualification, and usually that would be more of enterprise customers. So if that MSP has an enterprise customer, then definitely that could be interesting.
Tal, I want to thank you for joining me today. This has been very interesting. Where can we learn more?
Of course, our website is a great source of information. You can definitely reach out to us. We have, through the website, we have a lot of, very passionate sales representatives and pre-sales that will be happy to explain the ins and outs. And of course, we're also, me and the CTO and the product team, we're also very enthusiastic about coming to prospects and showing them what we've got, because we truly believe in our product. It works amazing.
Tal, I want to thank you for joining me. I'm looking forward to doing another podcast, maybe unpacking some of the specific issues and some of the mechanisms and so on. But for now, thank you very much indeed.
That's sound great, Doug. Looking forward to meeting you again. And thanks, everyone, and thank you.
Innovate without limits, scale without compromise, and never pay per seat again. Discover why providers choose netsapiens.com.